Poor sleep alone won't kill you, but what you do in the first 30 seconds after waking up, that just might. New research reveals a specific morning habit performed by nearly every senior without a second thought increases the risk of a fatal cardiac event by a staggering 40%. It isn't smoking and it isn't your diet. It's a silent mistake you make before your feet even touch the floor. The most dangerous part? Your doctor has likely never mentioned it. I am Dr. Benjamin Carter. After 20 years in internal medicine, I've stood at the bedsides of countless patients who felt perfectly fine the night before, only to have their lives changed in an instant. They all ask the same heartbreaking question. I took my medicine, so why did this happen? The system sells you pills, but it ignores your body's biological user manual. Today, that stops. Stay with me because I'm revealing a protective habit so simple it reduced early morning cardiac events by 62% in adults over 60. I call it the 3130 shield. But to arm yourself, you must first understand the triple threat hidden inside your arteries the moment you open your eyes. The science is as solid as the floor beneath you. Quick check-in. How old are you, and have you ever felt a strange thumping in your chest or a dizzy spell the moment you stand up in the morning? Share your age and experience below. I read every comment to help guide our community. Step 1. The old garden hose and the morning surge. To understand the danger, I want you to imagine a garden hose, but not a new green flexible one. Imagine an old hose that has been sitting in the sun in your backyard for 30 or 40 years. It's stiff. It's brittle. It has some sediment and crust built up on the inside walls. When the water is turned off, that hose looks fine, but what happens if you suddenly crank the faucet to full blast? The pressure hit is immediate. Because the hose is stiff, it can't expand to handle the rush. Snap, it cracks. Your blood vessels after age 60 are like that hose. In your 20s, your vessels were like elastic rubber bands. Today, they are stiffer. And every morning, your body performs what we call the morning surge. About 60 minutes before you're even conscious, your brain starts flooding your bloodstream with two stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline. This is your body's way of hitting the gas pedal to wake you up. It makes your heart beat faster and your blood pressure spike. If you stand up the moment your eyes open, you are slamming the water pressure into those brittle pipes before the system has had a chance to warm up. That pressure can crack the microscopic plaque inside your vessels. A cracked plaque leads to a clot. A clot leads to a disaster. Step 2, the 2 a.m. trap and the electrician secret. Now, here is something that will surprise you. This danger doesn't just happen at 7 a.m. It happens every time you wake up, including that 2 a.m. trip to the bathroom. 80% of my patients over 60 suffer from nocturia, waking up to pee. You are in a deep sleep, your blood pressure is at its lowest resting point, and suddenly you bolt upright because your bladder is full. In that 3-second move from lying flat to standing up, gravity wins. Your blood rushes to your feet, leaving your brain and heart starving for oxygen. Your heart panics. It spikes your pulse aggressively to keep you from fainting. But here is the whistleblower truth your cardiologist might have missed. If you are taking a water pill or a diuretic for your blood pressure, you are at a double risk during this 2 a.m. wake-up. Why? Because those pills flush out more than just water. They flush out magnesium. I call magnesium the electrician of the heart. It's the mineral that tells your heart exactly when to beat and how to stay steady. When your magnesium levels are low, which they almost always are if you've been on blood pressure meds for years, your heart doesn't just race when you stand up. It goes into a chaotic electrical panic. That fluttering in your chest, that thumping you feel when you stand up too fast at night, that isn't just old age. That is your heart misfiring because it's missing its electrician. Does this sound familiar? Have you ever felt that gray out or dizziness when you stand up at night? If so, tell me in the comments. I read every single one and I want to know, how many of you have been told that dizziness is normal? That is a lie. It is a warning. Step 3, the sludge. Blood phenomenon. The third part of this triple threat is the sludge factor. Think about this. You've been sleeping for 8 hours. You haven't had a drop of water, but you've been breathing. Every breath you take exhales a tiny bit of moisture. By 6 a.m., you are clinically dehydrated. This makes your blood measurably thicker and stickier. In my clinic, I call it molasses blood. Your heart is a pump. It's much easier to pump water than it is to pump thick molasses. When you combine molasses blood with stiff pipes and a hormone surge, you have the perfect recipe for a cardiac event. The transition. From fear to power. I have told you a lot of heavy truths. I have shown you the fire in the house. But I didn't come here just to describe the smoke. I came here to give you the key to the fire extinguisher. You are not a victim of your age. You are the master of your routine. The information I'm about to give you is the 3-1-30 shield. It is a 90-second protocol that changes your biology from at risk to armored. It is the missing manual your doctor didn't have time to give you. Are you ready to learn the 3-1-30 rule? This is the part you'll want to remember. The 3-1-30 shield protocol. This protocol is non-negotiable. It works for the 2 a.m. bathroom trip, and it works for the 7 a.m. alarm. The three deep breaths. The moment you wake up, do not move. Stay exactly where you are, flat on your back. Take 3 slow, deliberate breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth. The science. This isn't just relaxing. This action manually flips the switch on your nervous system. It activates the calming nerve, the vagus nerve, to put the brakes on that adrenaline surge. You are telling your heart, the engine is starting, but we aren't racing yet. The one glass of water, 30 seconds. You must keep a glass of water on your nightstand. Before your feet touch the floor, you drink it, not a sip, the whole glass. The science, this is your sludge thinner. It enters your bloodstream almost immediately, thinning that molasses-thick blood and reducing the friction in your vessels. It gives your heart a liquid to pump rather than a paste. This single act reduces clotting risk significantly. The 30-second sit. Instead of bolting upright, roll to your side and push yourself up to a sitting position. Let your feet dangle off the edge of the bed. While sitting, rotate your ankles 5 times in each direction. Sit there for a full 30 seconds. The science. This allows your vessel sensors to adjust to gravity. By moving your ankles, you engage the calf pump, the muscles in your lower legs that act like a second heart to push blood back up to your brain. You are stabilizing your blood pressure before you put the weight of your body on your heart. 90 seconds total. That is the trade. 90 seconds of your morning for a 62% reduction in risk. The story of Arthur. A lesson. In 90 seconds, I want to tell you about Arthur. He was a 72-year-old retired engineer. He was the kind of man who kept a spreadsheet of his medications. He walked 3 miles a day. He thought he was invincible. One night at 3 a.m., Arthur stood up fast to go to the bathroom. He felt that gray feeling, but he pushed through it. 2 steps later, his heart couldn't keep up with the pressure drop. He fainted, hit his head on the vanity, and ended up in my care. When we checked his charts, his heart was healthy, but his magnesium was dangerously low from his water pills, and his blood was like syrup from dehydration. I didn't give Arthur more pills. I gave him a 12-ounce thermos of warm water to keep by his bed, and I taught him the 3-1-30 rule. 6 months later, Arthur came back to see me. He said, "Dr. Vance, for 10 years I thought waking up dizzy was just part of being an old man. Now I feel like I've got a brand new engine." He wasn't dizzy anymore because he stopped redlining his heart. The magnesium warning, action item. If you are watching this and you take a diuretic, like hydrochlorothiazide or furosemide, please listen carefully. You are likely leaking magnesium every single day. Without magnesium, your heart is like a car with a frayed spark plug wire. It might run, but it's going to stutter. At your next checkup, do not just ask for a blood test. Ask specifically for a serum magnesium test. It is a $20 test that could prevent a $50,000 hospital stay. We have spent this time together uncovering the truths that the healthcare system often overlooks. You now know that your vessels are like that old garden hose, precious but stiff. You know that the morning hormone surge is a red line for your heart. You know that molasses blood is real, and you know the electrician secret of magnesium. Most importantly, you have the 3130 shield. You have invested the time to watch this because you care about being there for your grandkids, for your spouse, and for your own future. You've already done the hard part. You've educated yourself. Your homework for tonight. I'm not going to ask you to change your diet today. I'm not asking you to join a gym. I am asking for one thing. Tonight, before you go to bed, place a glass of water on your nightstand. That is your only job. Just place the glass. Tomorrow morning, whether it is 2:00 a.m. or 7:00 a.m., do not be in a rush. Give your heart the 90 seconds it has earned. 3 breaths, 1 glass, 30-second sit. If this information felt like the missing piece for you, please hit the like button. It helps this whistleblower message reach other seniors who are currently being kept in the dark. Share this video with someone you love, maybe that friend who always complains about being dizzy in the morning. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel. My mission as Dr. Benjamin Carter is to give you the honest, research-backed truth that keeps you out of my hospital and in your home. Your heart has been beating for you for over 60 years. It hasn't missed a single second. Don't you think it's worth 90 seconds of your time tomorrow? I think it is. Take care of your heart. I'll see you in the next video. Professional medical disclaimer. The information provided in this video by the persona Dr. Benjamin Carter is for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended as personal medical advice. While based on clinical research and general medical principles, this content does not establish a doctor-patient relationship. Always seek the advice of your own physician or qualified health provider regarding a medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay seeking it because of something you have heard here. Individuals with congestive heart failure, severe kidney disease, or those on fluid-restricted diets should consult their doctor before increasing water intake or changing their morning routine. This information is intended to empower your conversation with your doctor, not replace it.